thanks to the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Just don't worry about any sleeping bags because I have a few extras packed above my head. Now, if you look above your head up there, though, that is an animal spotting guide, and it's going to help you identify just a few of those animals we might see out here the next 2 weeks. Now, I can't promise you we'll see every animal, though, because they do love to hide, but we also might just see a few of them hiding out in there. Now, the only request I have, though, is that you please stay seated at all times for the next 2 weeks. And if you have any loose bags, you might want to store them down by your feet as well. It gets very bumpy out here on the reserve, and we don't want anything to go falling out, because if it does, we are not allowed to stop and pick it up. Now, while we're waiting here, does anyone have an animal that they're looking forward to out there today? Any animal, favorite animal? Oh, shout it out.
White-bearded wildebeest.
A white-bearded wildebeest.
Nice.
That's a good one. Anyone else? Oh, a giraffe. They're pretty tall, you know. A flamingo? Ooh, I heard they were pink. Is that it?
A dingo.
A flamingo again?
No, dingo.
What about an elephant? Oh, I got an elephant in the second row from a princess. Alright, well y'all just keep thinking about what animals you want to see out there. The warden gave us the all clear, so we get to go ahead and start our 2-week adventure here in the Little Ituri Forest. Now you will have to look close for the animals that live in here though, because with their amazing camouflage and all the thick vegetation from the trees in here, they just love to hide, which makes them a little hard to find. Now you have a few animals wandering around in here. If you look to the left, there's 2 different types of animals. The tan ones are the greater kudu, and they are actually the second tallest antelopes. Now they are also the females because they do not have horns on their head. Now the orange animals though are the bongos. They're also nicknamed the ghost of the forest because they love to hide, and the horns on their heads are tilted over, plus crossed over at the ends. That's to help them out as they dart away through the vegetation, just so that they do not get tangled up in any of the hanging vines. Now if you can look to the right in there, all the way back to that line there, that's a yellow-backed diker walking around. Now when scared, its yellow dorsal fin will stick straight up as it emits the loudest shrieking sound you've ever heard and darts away quickly through the vegetation. That's also where it gets its name, the diker buck, or diving buck from the Afrikaans. I see horn marks in here. It tells me a black rhino. Oh, there it is. Walking around to the left. That's the black rhino.
You see it, Colin?
Now they are the smallest rhinos. Oh, here's one up close in front here.
Look at that rhino.
The smallest rhinos weighing 3,000 pounds, but can still reach a charging speed of 35 miles per hour. Now it also looks a little discolored. That's from where it's been rolling around in the mud, because they love to use the mud as a natural sunblock just to help protect their hides against the harsh African sun. Now they are also widely poached for their horns and hides as well though, so there are fewer than 5,000 of them left in the world today. But that's also very sad because their horns are made of keratin, and that is the exact same thing as your fingernails and hair. Now the next stop on our 2-week adventure is the Safi River. Now we're just going to head on down in there, but you'll have to make sure you keep your feet up. You don't want to get any of your shoes or socks wet. And once in here, you'll just have to look a little close, because you never know where a hippo or 2 just might be swimming around in here. If you want to know what they look like, sometimes they look like a dark purple shadow moving along in the water. Let's see if we can just find one out in here. Oh, and there's a hippo in the water down there to the right. Got another one up here as well. Looks like it's munching on a snack. Now sometimes they'll even lay out on the rocks so that they can get warm by the sun. And then if they get too hot, they'll jump right on in the water there and go for a swim. Now we'll see if we can find a hippo swimming in here, because if they are close enough to the bottom, they will actually tiptoe across. Oh, now there's several other hippos down there to the left. Now 2 or more hippos like that is called a bloat of hippos. And they'll sleep in the water since they can hold their breath for up to 8 minutes at a time. Now the large white birds in here are the pink-backed pelicans. Now they look just a little gray to their wings, but during mating season they will get their pinkish hue right in those wings underneath their feathers. They even like to use their bills as a net so that they can catch their food and then swallow it whole instead of hanging on to it the whole time. I don't see any other hippos, but I do see the Nile crocodiles down here to the lower left as we cross this bridge. Now if you see them with their jaws propped open, they will do that to help regulate their body temperatures because the hot air just goes right on out those open jaws. Now come time to close them though, it exerts a powerful force of up to 2,000 pounds per square inch, but just strong enough to break the bones of an animal. Now because they also look just a little hungry here this morning, we're just gonna keep on going down here and get out of their way. Now it's about a 3-day journey over to the savannah, but we'll head on over there just to see if we can find any zebras, giraffes, lions, and maybe even a few elephants wandering around as well. Let's just see who we can find hiding out here. Now the first thing I see though is this big old tree on the right hand side there, and that is a baobab tree. It's also known as the upside down rooted tree because it literally looks like it was planted upside down and will be leafless like that for 9 months out of the year. Now what's pretty neat though is the researchers we have here on the reserve took a few measurements of that tree, and we can now tell you it is 2,000 years old and almost 80 feet wide. Now this right here is my favorite view. The Serengeti grassland stretches on for hundreds of miles across East Africa and is the superhighway to millions of migrating animals every year. Now it is home to the most famous animals though, like the lions and the giraffes, but because of all the animals that choose to live here, this is the wild Africa that we are working to conserve. I'm starting to notice some reddish brown mounds poking up everywhere. Some are in the distance, some are up close, and also some are tall, some are short. Well, these are all termite mounds, and the termites will build them using their own spit and a soft clay, to where over time they will eventually harden to become as hard as concrete. Now once hard though, the elephants like to use the taller termite mounds as a scratching post, and then after they wear them down enough, they kind of round out like the one to the right there, which the antelopes will jump on top of to use as a lookout tower, just so they can spot for any lions or cheetahs hiding in all of the tall grasses. Because there are a few tall grasses in here, the zebras will wander over and mow them all down just so they can see where the lions and cheetahs are hiding. And then you have the elephants who actually like to act like the bulldozers to push down the trees, just so that they can reach the leaves at the top. Then next you'll have the giraffes, who being tall can already reach all those leaves in the canopies of the trees. So they just act like the pruning shears up there. And then after that you'll have the gazelles, who just trim up all the fine edges. So that in a well-balanced and natural ecosystem out here, there's plenty of food for everyone to eat. We'll see if we can get a better view of them here as we come around the grasses. But the animals grazing around to the right hillside in there behind the tree are the sable antelopes. I have a few adult and baby sables hiding out in there. And when you see the adult horns, they will grow to be up to 5 feet long. Now with those long horns though, they are the one animal that is brave enough to try and take on a lion. They're also the official emblem here of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. And believe it or not, but the reserve was established until 1971 just to help protect all the animals we'll see out here. Just see those baby sables wandering around. A few are sleeping, a few of them are grazing in the grasses. And then the adults just watching over protectively. I have some great animals laying down here by this tree stump to the right as well. Now, these are the white-bearded wildebeest. Now they don't look that scary, but they actually got their name from the Afrikaans, called the wild beast, which is due to the menacing features of their face. Now we'll see if we can get a lot closer here in a moment, because if you can see him standing tall straight ahead in here, that is a giraffe. Now it is actually the Maasai giraffe though, because it has a dark brown coat with lacy jagged edges to its patterns. Get up close to it here. Now when you have two or more giraffes, it's called a tower. But do you know how many vertebrae are in their neck? They have 7. We have 7 vertebrae as well. The only difference is where ours are 1 inch long, the giraffes are 1 foot long. Now you can always tell the difference between a male and female giraffe though, because the males will grow anywhere between 18 to 20 feet tall. The female giraffe grows anywhere between 14 and 16 feet tall, and then a newborn baby giraffe is 6 feet tall standing. Now you'll need to be careful if you stand too close to a giraffe though, because they just might lick you with their 16-inch long tongue. Now we just crossed over into Monkey Point in here. We'll see if we can find any wandering around to the left. Good. Oh, there they are jumping around.
No.
Let's see if we can get them all right around the rocks. Now they are actually the most colorful monkey in the world, with a bright red and blue coloration to their nose. You'll also know if you see the dominant male mandrill monkey. There's another one hiding out in the middle of the trees here as well, because he's the largest in size and is the only one to have both colorations to his face and back side. The mandrill monkeys will also groom each other just to help improve their social interactions within their communities. Now there's a road that'll take us right behind this island here. Let's see if we can get a little closer, even go swimming in the watering hole. Let's see here. Well, never mind. Looks like we will have to change our plans just slightly. Seems our road was washed away by that storm we had a few weeks ago. Well, good news is though, I know of a detour straight ahead in here, so we'll just keep on going. I'll be honest, I've never been this way before, so I'm not exactly sure where it leads out to. But I mean, the worst that could happen is we just get lost out here in the savannah for the next 2 weeks. So Hakuna Matata, right? It means no worries. Alright, this bridge does not sound very sturdy, so we're just gonna speed it up just a little bit in here, just so we can get across. Whew, it sounds pretty rusty. We're almost there though. Oh boy, there we go, and we made it. Now I promise to not take you home that way, just because I'm not exactly sure if that bridge will last a second round. So we'll just stay straight in here and see where the detour takes us out to. Oh, and we are at the red clay pits. And you can tell from the tusk marks and footprints on either side in here that the elephants like to wander off and eat the red clay. Now, you're probably wondering though, why in the world would an elephant want to eat a rock? Well, that's a good question, but they like to eat the red clay because it obtains minerals, because they cannot always get it through the vegetation they eat. So, it's just like when we eat our vitamins. Oh, well that's a little weird in here. You hear that too, right? I'll tune into it better because it sounds like we're getting a radio station all the way out here. There we go. You can just see several elephants in here, a few baby elephants as well. Now what's sad is that the elephants are widely poached for their long ivory tusks. So if you see any being sold anywhere, don't buy them. We're trying to discourage the poachers. That way they will leave the elephants alone, so the elephants are around for many more years to come. Now when you see their ears, they are shaped like the continent of Africa, and then the blood vessels in those ears, when flapped in the wind, will help cool them down by about 15 degrees. They even have over 200 different muscle groups in their trunks, which will help them pick up anything from a log to a dime off of the ground. If you see them run away all at once though, it's because they're being chased by a group of bees, and they are also terrified of the buzzing sound a bee makes, so they run away scared. Now since they love to eat a farmer's crops though, the farmers have to build fences around their crops with beehives or houses attached to them, just so that they can scare away the elephants in a nice, humane way. Now this island here is called Flamingo Point, and the greater flamingos are the taller of the two birds you see there. Now they will actually obtain their pink coloration from beta keratin, but does anyone know what that is found in? Oh, it's actually found in the shrimp and krill they eat. Now it takes them a whole year to get their pink hues though, because when they are born, they look like little gray fluff balls. We have also just entered into the heart of white rhino territory in here, and I can tell because of that mud pit located to the middle left there. Now the white rhinos love to roll around in the mud and get it all over their hides, just so that they can use it as a natural sunblock against the harsh African sun. Now when you see a white rhino, you will know because they are the largest rhino, weighing 5,000 pounds. They could also be hiding right now since they are widely poached for their horns as well. So to help protect them, they just have their own trained and armed conservation team called Lewa, watching out for them and making sure that they are kept safe from any wandering poachers. And we're going to get closer in here because there's some cheetahs all the way to the top left in here. Now their Swahili name is Duma, and since they rely more on their sense of sight than their sense of smell, they will only hunt during the daytime. Just see it walking around in there. Now if it runs, a cheetah will reach a top speed of 60 to 70 miles per hour, and then will use their tail as a rudder to help steer them in their sharp turns. Now since they love to hunt down a farmer's livestock though, the farmers have raised Kangal dogs or Anatolian shepherds, which are really large dogs that scare the cheetahs away, just so that the livestock are kept safe and no cheetahs are harmed in the process. Now a fun fact about the cheetahs though is that they are the only big cats known to birth. And then where a lion roars, a cheetah actually chirps.
Big cats.
Now straight ahead here are the Kopi rocks, and lions like to use the Kopis as a lookout tower, so they'll leap all the way to the top up there and then lounge around, just so that they can search for any of their prey hiding in all of the tall grasses.
Yeah,
I don't see any on this side, so we'll just keep on circling around in here.
Sleeping in their cave.
Oh, but get ready though, because as we come around to the top right hillside in here, you can just see those white rhinos laying down. Look like large gray rocks. You can see their ears in there moving. See them to the right laying down. There they are.
Look at the rhino. You love rhinos.
We're getting closer to some zebras in here. That's about a day's journey, but we'll get to make our way around. You can still see them in here though. See if we can just get a little closer. Still on the lookout for any lions. Now keep in mind though, they will be inactive anywhere between 18 and 20 hours a day. And might only be seen for about 4 to 6 hours at night when they are hunting. Oh, do you see that mane of fur up there? That tuft of fur? That's the male lion right there. You see him? Just hiding. Yep, just gonna sleep up there. Because for about 4 to 6 hours a night is when they hunt for their next meal. And then contrary to belief, it's the female lion who does all of the nighttime hunting. You can kind of see his whole body here just a little bit. He's hiding good in there.
He's sleeping in the sun.
Now the Swahili name for a lion is Simba. And if there's any wilderness explorers on board, you are riding on Simba 1. There are 2 warthogs here to the left. Now they will use their snouts and hooves to build their burrows. And after they build them, they will back up into them with their tusks sticking out, just so that they can use them as a form of protection against any wandering predators. The eggs to the lower left here are ostrich eggs, and a single egg weighs anywhere between 3 to 3.5 pounds. And then you also have some zebras here to the right as well. Now they have a black nose though, so what does that tell you about their stripes? That's right, they are black but with white stripes. Now that helps them as a form of camouflage because when they herd together, a lion cannot tell where one zebra ends and where the next one begins. Now by rule of thumb though, you never want to stand directly behind a zebra because their hind legs are so powerful